Okay, so I'm going to do a wee voiceover. Yeah, that's about my face, really annoying. So starting out by prepping the eyelid, I'm just using concealer. That one is the Kevyn Aucoin Skin Enhancer in SSO2. It's really good for carving out the brow. It's quite expensive, but sometimes you can get it in TK Maxx, so definitely check that out. So I'm just using the wee P. Louise brush. I don't really like this to carve out things because it is quite thick, so I just use it to apply the product. I'm using the Jeffree Star and Morphe palette. I'm starting out with like a darker colour. I'm putting this all over the eye. This is just so it comes out really intense. So that's what I'm doing now. And I'm just using like a wee smudger brush because I feel like that's the best to pack on the colour. I'm not really focusing on blending at the minute, that'll come later. Okay, so I'm just packing that on and adding a wee bit more just to make it more intense. And then I'm going in with a bright pink. So the most important part about this is to do it half on the previous shade and half on the eye, well the eye base, and that just blends it all out for you, so it just saves you a lot of time, but it keeps the intensity of the previous shade. So it's really nice if you go in with like a really dark colour. It'll just keep it really intense. And then once you do this, you need to go in with the first shade again, so it just makes it darker and make sure the intensity stays. And then you go in with the second shade again, so that is intense as well. So you're just like repeating yourself, but it just is the way to get it the most pigmented as possible. And then I'm just darkening that again. And then I'm just going in with like a really light colour, so this will just blend it into the eyebrow. Make sure everything's blended in well. It's almost like a transition colour if you're using that kind of method, so I'm doing it the opposite way around. Instead of going in with the lightest and building up, I'm going in with the darkest and going lighter. And then each time you add a shade, you have to go through and redo each shade. We don't have to, but that's my method. So I'm just darkening everything up. And then looking at myself, as usual. And then I'm going to use Vaseline. Very random, I know, but it's a wee P. Louise tip. They just use it on a brush and carve out where you want to have that cut crease. It just clears everything off, because I find whenever I use concealer and just go straight in, it'll end up pink. So it doesn't really keep that colour. So doing this first removes all the product, so it comes out the real colour of the concealer. And then it gives you a blank canvas for anything else you want to put on top. So I'm just using the Kevyn Aucoin concealer again. I like the Kevyn Aucoin concealer because it's really thick, so it does cover any colours. Now I'm just taking a wee baby wipe and I'm just taking all that Vaseline off and then just cleaning up under the eye. I always think it's so satisfying whenever you take away all that excess product. That's probably why I'm looking at myself so much. And then next I'm going to go in with the concealer. And I'm patting this onto the eye because that's what I do in the first place. And I'm using that just to carve out the crease. And I'm being really precise with that because I don't want to ruin all my hard work. And then I'm going, once I finish that, I'm going to blend the concealer and the eyeshadow together. But the tip with that is you need to blend the eyeshadow in, because if you blend the concealer out then it goes really muddy. But I haven't even got to that point yet, so. I'm just really perfecting that crease. And then I'm just blending it in. So you see the way I'm going from the shadow into the concealer. And then make sure there's no harsh edges. And then I'm going back in with the dark colour just to make sure everything's perfect. And I honestly didn't know what colour I was going to put on the cut crease until I was doing it. So you'll probably see me staring at my palette for a wee minute. So I'm going in with silver from the palette for a wee change. I don't really ever do silver because I didn't really feel like I had a really good silver eyeshadow. So I wanted to try out this one. I'm just really building that up. Another tip is you can spray the brush. I'm sure a lot of you already know that. But if you spray the brush, the eyeshadows become more pigmented. I just use like the vitamin E water from Superdrug or else All Nighter Spray by Urban Decay. And then I'm just making sure they both merge together very well. And then I'm going in with some eyelash glue and a wee glitter pigment. The glitter's just honestly cheap glitter. I have no clue where I got it. I got it so long ago, but it's just any glitter. I just be careful to make sure I don't get it in my eyes. So I'm just putting on the eyelash glue first so the glitter can stick to it. Because if you use like a pigment glue, it won't be strong enough for the glitter. And then I'm just letting it dry for a wee minute. And then I'm just patting that glitter on. I'm not bringing it the whole way across the eyelid because I feel like that would be too much. So I'm just focusing on the one area. At this point you just have to trust the process because it probably looks insane, but eventually it'll all come together. Now I'm just trying to find everything because everything's everywhere. Usual. I'm just putting the glue on the eyelashes and just setting them there. The best thing to do is just leave them for like a couple of minutes and go on and do something else. It just makes them really tacky so they don't slide about whenever you're trying to put them in place. I'm just lining my eyelids. I'm not doing a flick or anything because I feel like that's too much for this look. I'm just making that perfect. You just have to perfect every step in order for it to all come together. And then I'm going in with concealer. This one's just the collection one in Zero. I like to just use that under the eyes whenever I'm doing like an eyeshadow look because I'm going to remove it anyway. But just as a base for the eyeshadow I'm putting underneath. And then remember, whatever goes up has to come down too. So I'm just going to bring it down the bottom as well. So I'm just starting off with the dark colour and then the lighter colour and then the lightest colour. And then I'm just searching for things again. So I'm just lining the waterline. That's with Fia Finetto pencil from NARS. Then sticking the lashes on. The best way to stick the lashes on is to just stick them in the middle and get the middle stuck in and then go in with the sides. But I feel like sometimes no matter how hard you try, the sides and the inner corner do come off anyway. So I just go back in with glue to make sure they really are stuck on. So I'm back in and I'm priming. I went and done my eye off camera. So this is the Radiance Primer by NARS. I love this, it just gives such a nice glow.
This car is a lot bigger than my old car. I had to reverse it into spot.
Really blend it in.
That's a massive car. I never saw it before.
Then I'm going in with Santa Fe in the Natural Radiant Longwear
That's a lot
foundation.
of pressure. Jane's just arrived.
This is like a full coverage foundation, but it has like a slightly glow. And that's just on like a really big peaches brush. I think it's the PC04. But I'll check.
I was so excited, I just ran over into
I
the
can't find
car.
it. So I'm just patting that into the skin. That's how you get the most coverage. There's lots of different methods, but I find that's how you get the most coverage.
You surprised me in the salon.
Oh my god.
To get the number plate.
And making sure you're not missing anywhere.
To push really hard.
Oh my god. Best push present ever.
And really just perfecting each area as you go along. And bring it down on the neck. Because no matter what, you really can't find the exact match as your neck. So you just bring it down.
Push to.
You know what? You look amazing. It's
because your face is exposed to the sun more.
So perfect. Lorenska is stunning anyway, but she looks absolutely amazing today. She's just
Back
glowing.
down on the
You got
neck.
a crown. I do have a crown. Don't you just love it?
So pretty.
And if Maria turns up in wearing a crown, I'm just going to rip it off and throw it.
And I'm leaving the under eye free
Amazing.
Speaking about the devil.
because you're going to go in with the concealer anyway. You don't really want layers and layers of product because then it can move.
She's needed a big stomach. I thought she would have done a lot better than that.
Those male figures, they don't know how to dress, they've got no class, they've got no ass, they don't know how to pull it off, let me tell you.
Do I look okay?
Don't worry.
I feel like on the forehead you don't really need as much coverage because I like my freckles come
They
through,
don't know how to make a man
so I just use a wee bit less.
look again.
The other one looks like she's going to
And my hairline is going grey because I don't know why it always happens. I'll just clean that later.
Class, you know? Like, look at me, honey. That type of thing, you know?
Hi, how are you? Good to see you. Love how was the flight? Was it a good flight?
Beautiful one. Thank you.
Mum and I matched today, and it's looking really good. I love Mum's jacket.
And making sure like around the nose area that everywhere's covered,
I am, thank you.
because if not you'll see like differences.
Maybe.
I'm just going in with a smaller brush just to make sure it's all covered.
Thank you for inviting us. Thank you for coming.
What is that on Lorenska's head? I think it's meant to be a crown.
And again, just patting it in. So that just really sets it into the skin.
It is a crown. A crown. It is. It's just
So it's all set in place.
subtle crown.
That is not a crown. It's very beautiful, you know.
Yeah.
It's elegant.
Yeah, it's very relaxed.
It's kind of look. Crown is meant to be a jewel,
Then I'm just going to clean the hairline
not a gold piece of
because
marble.
no one wants grey hairs, especially at the front of the face.
I was actually going to wear a crown.
So I'm just wiping that away and then I end up wiping half the foundation off, but I'm just going to fix that after.
Imagine.
So there's a lot of this going on.
Just covering the hair so we don't get the hair dirty again. Then I'm going in with the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I love this one for every day. This is in shade Vanilla, so it'll really highlight.
I know she's seen it, but she's just ignoring it.
Clearly, Lorenska and Jane have put this black Range Rover, number plates pushed to, right there in front of us, so that I would say
I'm only putting that on the under eyes and the
I'm
chin.
going to give them the satisfaction that I've even seen
I'm going to
it.
go in later with a highlight in between the brows and stuff, just because the actual highlight doesn't give as much extra coverage.
Subtle.
Ah, I can't wait to see.
And that's
what
just a wee
Larissa's got in
peaches
store.
brush.
So this is the Como stables.
This is stables?
It's called the stables of Como.
Okay, you don't have horses here though, do you?
No.
After the girls saw my baby shower, I think they may have got some tips for their baby shower. I'm excited.
As you can see, it's a bit more subtle. It's not so over the top. It's classy.
Wow. Amazing.
How good is it?
Lovely. I love it. It's exactly what I expected. So beautiful. Right
Just
down
really
to the
making sure that's
finest
patted
line.
into the skin.
Oh, wow. I was expecting a lot more from Larissa's baby shower than just this.
Yeah. It's looking in the garden.
It's like a backyard kind of farm style thing.
Oh, I don't like it.
We've gone to so much trouble to come all the way to
And then
Melbourne.
next I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette. So that's the highlight I was talking about, and then putting it in between the eyebrows, down the nose,
Tastes nice.
and done the cupid's bow.
Yes, it's more. Maria and Margarita, they've only been
And then a wee
here
bit
for
under the
5
eyes just to
minutes,
brighten it up
and
a
they're
wee bit more.
already having stabs at the venue, the champagne that I've chosen.
We've had Moe.
And then I'm going to go in with the same brushes before the blends
Well,
out.
this is actually a bit more expensive than Moe. Well, it's very expensive.
I like the Moe because it just looks classy.
The white and gold. Margarita doesn't care what it tastes like. She cares what it looks like. And who does that? It's champagne. Come in, come in, come in.
Oh my god, it's so.
Isn't it to
I
die
love it.
for?
I'm trying to really appreciate the little details that Larinska has.
And again,
put
just
into her
patting
baby
that into
shower.
the skin.
It's like a little house.
Because if you're going to swipe it, then you're just going to take it all off, and it's just going to all go on your brush.
And there's just flowers everywhere.
It's so classy. I love it.
Oh no, wait. There's little chicken. Little chickens on a table. Oh, very different.
Then I'm going to go in and contour,
I don't get it. It's not Easter.
or cream contour, and then I'm going to bronze later on.
They get different on other tables.
So I'm just taking on any brush
Yes, that's how
and doing it just slightly higher down my natural cheekbone.
Stylist designed today's party. I'm speechless.
Did you have a stylist at yours? Who styled yours?
Jess.
Maria.
And Jess.
And then obviously I was getting a million
Jess
backs
is
at once,
mainly everything.
so I had to look at them.
Maria is a stylist. She does other people's shows.
A wee bit on the forehead, because I have a wee bit bigger of a forehead.
Well, who would have thought?
But ultimately you just want to look at your
this is
face
obviously the table
and
we're
see where you would like to be smaller, more like snatched.
Very nice.
Ever since we've walked into the baby shower, there's been nothing
And then I'm
but
going to bring it
attention.
along my
I really
jawline
hope
also.
Rachel gets here soon. All this Maria and Margarita stuff, it's just full on.
Sorry, hang on.
And then I'm going to pat that in with a Real Techniques brush.
It's Rachel.
It is the sculpting brush.
Shower, but it's also
It really just blends it in so easily. And it's an angle,
Go on their actual due
so it really gets in there.
I'm so sorry, girls.
Can't make it to your baby shower. She better not be taking the limelight off me. I'm in hospital. What's happened?
I've got something to show you.
Stop it! Rachel has actually.
So I'm just really making sure that's blended in, because if it's not, it's going to look harsh.
Harvey Glenn.
Harvey Glenn, what? It's a boy! Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm so excited right now. I actually feel like I'm going to start crying. I'm so emotional.
And I'm obviously taking my time.
He arrived.
And a wee bit under the lip, just to make the lips look slightly more finalised.
Honestly, Larisca, I cannot believe it myself either. I'm so sorry, girls, but have a great day.
All right, honey. We love you so much. Congratulations. Congratulations.
I'm just dying to ask.
So I'm just taking the Fenty Beauty powder in butter, and I'm just going to use this to bake and then powder the rest of my skin.
The guests arriving.
So I'm just putting excess product under the eyes,
We're at Larissa's baby shower.
so it allows the powder to really set into your skin. and it gives more of a flawless finish into your eyes.
But Maria and
And
Margarita
there will
at
be
our table
clouds
so
of
that
powder
can all
everywhere.
change at any time.
Always.
Am I allowed to have that, Mum?
No.
Who put salmon on dishes? I can't eat salmon. I'm pregnant.
Thank you. Thank you.
There's not enough.
Then I'm taking it on a
atmosphere, there's not
bigger
enough
brush.
food.
That is
The
just
food
in
that's
Charlotte
there
Tilbury
isn't even what
number.
pregnant women can eat.
Charlotte Tilbury blush brush.
There's no glam. There's nothing. There's actually nothing.
The Charlotte
It's
Tilbury
just a
brushes are
room.
really good. They really last long.
Exciting Rach had her baby.
I didn't expect that at all.
So you just came back from your baby moon. How was the Palazzo Versace?
Oh, I loved it. It was so relaxing. It was exactly what we needed. Yeah. Oh.
And whereabouts is it again?
In Queensland. In
Queensland.
Gold Coast. Yeah, you haven't been then.
No.
Oh, it's something you need to do.
Do definitely. It's just beautiful.
Marie's baby shower.
So you want to keep that
was
baking powder on for like 2 minutes.
Baby moon was at the Palazzo
Or maybe longer,
Versace.
just depends how much time you
Does
have,
she
but
know
I
that
usually
there's
keep it on
other
for about 2
designers
minutes.
out there that
So I'm going in and bronzing while
Versace?
that's on.
I was
This is
really
MAC
impressed.
Dark
They
Tan.
treat you like
This is just what I
royalty.
always
It's
use. It's really good.
Maria
I think it's good because I think these are actually powders, so that's a wee bit extra coverage.
My uncle came and took all the photos.
And I'm taking a big brush on the forehead and the jawline,
It was
but then I'm going to go in with a more precise brush for the
Her
cheekbones.
father needs to be looking at me half nude doing a photo shoot. So where did you do the photos? That was actually at the
near the
Palazzo Versace?
Palazzo Versace pool.
With Versace in the background?
I'm just using these circular motions.
Now that I think about it, it's Versace everywhere. With the Versace umbrellas, Versace pillows, everything was stunning. So Mum and Dad actually ended up coming to the baby moon at Palazzo Versace.
The best bit about this bronzer is I can use it whenever I'm really pale, and I can use it whenever I'm really tan, because it's really buildable.
So Margarita was at Maria's baby moon. That's a bit odd, isn't it?
And so were your rooms together?
So you're basically just going over all the places that you've contoured with.
Massive. So there were so many rooms.
So many rooms.
So you stayed in the room.
She wanted to basically sleep next to me.
And another wee tip is if you get your bronzer too dark, which we all have done before, just go in with your loose powder on top, so it'll just bring the darkness down.
Room as them not even have separate rooms.
And then I'm just wiping away all that baking powder
So why were you at the baby moon for? Oh,
and making sure I'm getting all of the product off.
Definitely needed Mum.
Yeah, she needed
We
me
had
at
a
that
little
time.
mishap. I actually thought my waters had broken.
but apparently there's two
If you haven't noticed, my window's open and you can hear everything on my
What do
street.
you mean one in the back? I don't know, but apparently that's what they said. I have never heard of waters breaking from your backside.
Are you serious?
I've always known that your waters break from your utero, but your bottom?
Using the same wee brush, I'm going in with blusher. The blusher I'm using is the Topshop one. It's called
Or gone to the hospital if I
Heads Up
pissed my pants.
Matte Powder Blush. It's really good, but I think Topshop have discontinued their makeup range, because I got that for really cheap.
It was a false alarm.
Was a false alarm. So basically you peed yourself at the Palazzo Versace. It happens.
I really love a bit of blusher. It really like brightens up the face, I think. As you can see, I'm putting lots on it.
What are you getting?
I haven't yet.
Oh, I know what you're getting.
Carlos has organised it, obviously.
And I'm putting a wee bit in the nose. I've seen Mitchell doing that, and I really like it. So I'm just taking a wee bit of inspo from him, as always.
So you're getting 3. Not just one.
These girls have obviously been sitting here.
And now I'm going in with a highlight. This is from the Anastasia Beverly Hills
Do you
Dream
realise what's outside? Have you seen the
Glow
Range
Kit.
Rover?
Yeah, saw it. Is that push?
It is the shade Unicorn, so it's like a pink highlighter. It's really nice, especially with these pink eyes.
I knew Maria spotted started my car at the front.
And I'm taking this on a really small brush so I can be really precise with it. There's nothing worse whenever you use a really big brush and put it everywhere and then you're like a disco ball. So I'm just using a really precise one.
That's exactly what I want. Yes, upsizing. Yay!
I feel that these girls feel they're in competition with Maria. You really don't have to be in competition because Maria's in a class of her own.
And I'm just putting on all the places that the light naturally hits. So I'm just like enhancing those places.
But it won't be a Range Rover. I want to go a bit further than that because my sister's like
Well,
wanting the Range
enhancing
Rover.
those places with a very unnatural
And
colour.
she's young,
But
and you know
sure.
that's the type of car that's at her level.
Range Rovers are for younger
And then it all starts coming together about now and you just add your finishing touches.
hoo-ha, like seriously. And that just tops it for Maria.
So I'm just sharpening my lip pencil. I always say to sharpen them before because there's nothing worse than whenever they're really blunt. And I completely got that wrong. I'm actually going in with my pencil. So this is just like a wee MUA pencil. I think I have medium brown.
This is
It's really good and it's really cheap, so it's nice for like every day.
but I like to party.
For going out, I really like the collection. It's like a liquid. It's not a brow gel, but it's like a liquid and you just put it in the back of your hand and use a brush.
And all that sort
It's
of
amazing.
stuff. Come on,
And it really lasts. So I don't use it often because I know it's going to be really hard to get off.
Look, it's like a little dollhouse, Maria.
And I'm just making sure to really brush the hairs out.
No, the rinse is a different
So anywhere where you have like excess product or it looks really harsh, just keep brushing it out.
country style. Maybe they came from the outback, Maria. You know, maybe they feel comfortable in sort
So every
of
few seconds I'm just brushing it.
no normal baby shower. Now you have music.
And brushing the hairs
jump
in the direction that I'd
Don't
want.
worry about chooks on the table. I mean, you dance, you have fun.
I can't wait to read advice.
You just don't do this sort of stuff anymore. With these papers about filling out. Who's got time to fill out stuff? I want to catch it with my nose.
And whenever it comes to the front of the brow, I want this to be
This is Melbourne.
the same colour as the rest of the brow, but I don't want it to be too harsh.
He's missing something. Even the chook theme.
So I'm being quite light.
Aren't they the same ones you put on the Easter table?
No, mine actually moved and at least they danced.
When my family and I have a party, there's action, there's entertainment, there's music. What's going on here?
Oh, we better get back in. We've got that surprise. We better get back
So
in.
again, just brushing that out.
Why does he see her face?
This baby shower really needs to pick up a bit. But Mum's assured me that the gift she's giving on behalf of me is amazing.
I really like the colour of this eyebrow pencil because it's not too dark. I feel like before I used to use one that was too dark and it just looked really harsh all the time. This looks more
I
natural.
didn't get Maria a gift for her baby shower. My presents was
Unlike the rest of my makeup, it's not.
But it's only polite that I had Mum organise a gift for you. Yeah.
And then I messed up there, that's why I'm doing that weird
So
face.
nice. She just wants to give and give and give. So we want to bring it on.
bring it on. I don't like surprises.
So I'm just going much lighter
Maria
on
and
that.
Margarita and their
inner
surprises
section.
and their so-called presents are never a good idea. So I look over and see someone coming towards us. Someone dressed up.
And then I'm using the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray.
Taking the nick of
I just
the
love this. It just sets everything in place. It's just brilliant. And at Christmas, I always do wee sets.
I mean, they did a great
And you always get a really good saving, so keep an eye out for that.
I wanted the dress was identical, like Maria's wore to Maria's baby shower.
And now I obviously can't find anything, so it's...
I can't stand impersonators. And
So I'm just
I
taking
definitely like
my
this one.
usual combo,
to award you
which is the NYX Peekaboo Neutral Lip Pencil. That's what I was talking about earlier. I'm sharpening it now.
Maria is the star.
I just love this.
There we go.
It's such a nice shade. In the summertime I like to wear it actually on its own as well. With like tan on the face and then just slightly overdraw the lips with that and a wee bit of gloss. It's really nice.
So put Maria's name on. because her face doesn't look like
I like to
she's very happy at
overdraw
this
the
point.
lips just
In
slightly.
addition to this wonderful award,
Not too dramatic, but this is only on myself. I would never do it on anyone else unless that.
just for you.
Oh my god. I can't wait. I don't think this is going too well. But it's hilarious.
People, let me tell you a story.
Whenever it comes to lip liner, I find if you keep going over the same place as you go along, it just really intensifies it and then it lasts longer.
Laughing giggles.
Because there's nothing worse than whenever you're going out and stuff and having to constantly do your lipstick. And as you get more drinks, it ends up a mess.
And we're all laughing and having
So
a joke
clumsy.
with it.
You didn't bring a gift to me.
So I'm just really taking my time,
She wants cash, I find that
making
rude.
sure they're even.
And then suddenly it just got really distasteful and it turned really sour.
But that's okay, Maria has enough. We did not hold that against you. We know that times might be tough.
What a bizarre gift to give someone to obviously try and bring me down to make them feel better. So distasteful.
What a great shower Maria had. It brightened up the room, I know. In your lucky dress with bags.
And then I'm going in with Charlotte Tilbury liquid lipstick.
That is when I saw Red.
But I can't remember the name,
There
can't
to
find
defend
it.
herself, and I thought that just was a really low blow.
That's just rude.
It's Dolly Bird. Dolly Bird. It's like really nice, like bright pink one.
Low blow.
But whenever you put it on with like a more neutral lip liner, they go together really nice. I prefer more of a pink nude.
Throw that lady.
Just
It
suits me better.
$12.50 for a start. And to throw it.
And then I'm just going in with an Estee Lauder lip gloss. It is
Really seeing this? Am I having a
Discreet
hallucination? This wine
nude.
is mummy,
It's
or
basically
whatever it's
clear,
called.
so it just goes with
Doing
everything.
something to my brain.
So distasteful. I don't know what else to say.
Congratulations. All the very, very best.
You spelled
I
it
like to
wrong,
use
so
a
you
gloss
obviously don't know
whenever
how to spell.
everything else is a wee bit more dramatic.
I don't know what.
Just keeps the lips a wee bit more natural looking. And that's me. Thank you for listening. Bye.